Shout out to the homie Matt, about to drop it. Second day in the studio. Got Young Sizzle, acapella over here.
So this is Chapter 8, Section 2, Measuring Public Opinion. Measuring public opinion. Public opinion is taken on any issue found in a variety of means, such as voting, editorial comments, newspaper articles, television, and the internet. The way these are expressed tells little to nothing about the opinions themselves or the groups. Elections, interest groups, the media, and personal contacts with the public measure public opinion.
Elections. Election results represent public opinion. A party and its candidates claim a mandate in which the voters favor. Often, the choices voters make have little to nothing to do with the candidates' stand on public questions. Their positions are often expressed in broad, generalized terms. Elections are the best, only useful indicators of public opinion. It represents a general direction of public policy.
Interest groups, also known as pressure or special groups. They express their opinions by letters, telephone calls, and political campaigns. Public officials have difficulty determining how many people the group represent, as well as how strongly they hold their views.
The media. It's frequently described as a mirror or a molder. Ideas are reflected through the media are generally good indicators of public opinion. They often reflect the views of a more vocal minority.
Personal contacts. These are contacts of public officials that try to read what the public is in favor of. They keep contacts through letters and speaking trips. At times, this becomes very overwhelming, and the public officials only find a spot out of what views and opinions people have that agree with their own.
Thank you.
Then there's polls, straw votes. Polls taken by asking the same question to a large number of people. Fairly common, highly unreliable. Example, radio hosts asking a question and receiving answers from people who call in. Relies on false assumptions that the opinions of people who attempt to answer are the same as the general public opinion. Emphasizes quantity over quality. Most famous is in 1936, the Literary Digest mailed to 10 million postcard ballots to people on registered automobile and telephone lists. More than 2,376,000 returned. Based on those results, the magazine predicted the outcome of the current presidential election, which was Governor Alfred Landon versus FDR.
Based on this, so the Literary Digest, they distributed the mail postcard ballots to people, but it was only people who had registered automobiles and on telephone lists. So it was a larger group, but it was specifically for those selected people. And based on what the results turned in, they made the assumption that Alfred Landon would win when what really happened was FDR had won the election. So it was just a poll done on a specific group of people. Even though it was a larger group, it was still only specific to those who had registered automobiles and telephone lists. So it was still limited.
Thank you.
Scientific polling. Scientific research depends on how people react to viewing different forms of public opinion as well as how they express it. This is frequently done through the mail, in person, or through the internet. One of the major characteristics that makes a poll scientific is the fact that the pollster identifies and seeks out respondents. This also allows the pollster to create a sample that much more closely resembles the overall population being studied.
The polling process. In order to complete the polling process, one pollster must define the universe to be surveyed, 2, construct a sample, 3, prepare valid questions, 4, select and control how the poll will be taken, 5, analyze the report and findings to the public. This will result in public opinion.
Here's constructing a sample. When constructing a sample, it is important to make questions on an issue that are related to all people of that universe. Dealing with public policy, this is nearly impossible. Pollsters must select a sample to represent the total universe, or random sample.
A random sample is also a probability sample. It's just another form of a sample that's used in when you have like a total universe.
Being what? Like,
A total universe is it's a specific like group of people that are chosen, like that all the ideals apply to that specific group of people. So like the questions that are being asked, they all apply to
everyone.
that group.
Yeah.
And pollsters interview a certain number of randomly selected people from different areas. The law of probability states that if the sample is of sufficient size and properly selected at random, the result will be accurate.
Quota sample. It's less complicated and less reliable. Reflects several major characteristics of a given universe, and then polls categorize people by specific meaning.
Preparing valid questions. So when I make the questions for these polls, the wording can affect the reliability of any poll. So the way that the words that they use and the way that they ask the question. Pollsters purposely try not to use loaded or emotionally charged words, so that way people don't have a tendency to feel more emotion towards it. They also try not to ask questions that will shape the way they are answered.
Then there's interviewing. Face-to-face interviews may make people feel uncomfortable and affect their responses because they may be embarrassed of what the effect of their opinion may be. Random digit dialing samples are calls placed by pollsters. Telephone surveys are less labor-intensive and less expensive. And tone and word choice also has an influence on the person being interviewed.
Evaluating polls. Pollsters have trouble measuring stability as the relative permanence of changeable ends of an opinion. And then there's intensity, which is the strength of feeling in which an opinion is held. The results from polls must be carefully analyzed and reported via posting on the internet, publishing in some form of media.
Limits on the impact of public opinion. The energy devoted to measuring public opinion in this country suggests the powerful role that it plays. The constitutional government is not designed to give free, unrestricted action to public opinion, especially not to majority opinion. Democracy is about making careful choices among leaders in their positions on issues. And ideally, it's the participation of citizens within the political process. So that sums up with mass media and how it's done in public opinion.
Okay.